Hey friends, it's Reese back again, back with another episode of Retro Tech. This will be Retro Tech episode 11, featuring the HP Compaq DC 510 small form factor PC. Um, let's see. I think I featured this PC a couple of years ago when something went wrong with it. I think it was a memory issue. But the plan is to rebuild this bad boy and turn it into a Fedora Linux system. For those of you who know Fedora Linux, I'll talk a little bit more about that when I write the description. But right now, I'm just going to try and focus on the PC itself, since this is the episode of Retro Tech. As you can see, we have the two DIMM slots to take a 168 pin, I think, DDR2 5300 memory, if I'm not mistaken. You see here the space where the hard drive is going to go. Now I'm probably going to go with an SSD in lieu of the standard 3x5 mechanical drive. Just get a 2x5 to 3.5 conversion bay. Put a DVD burner back in here and go from there. Let's see. It already has the old style floppy disk drive in there, so that'll be fine. Like I said, it'll be the biggest issue. We'll be finding the memory for it. But if memory serves, I think this is a 4-channel PC. If not, yeah, it's a 4-channel. That's right. I think it's a 4-channel. So I think it holds up to 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it's a 32-bit system, so it'll be Fedora 32-bit. Now, hopefully, that's not a problem to find, but if I remember correctly, I had Fedora on this before, and I've had Ubuntu Linux on this before, as I continue my journey into setting up my Linux network, as I continue to study, networking and things like that. And just basically playing around with stuff, adding stuff to my network and seeing what I can get to communicate with what. It's so much fun to keep these retro style systems and refurbish them and turn them into Linux boxes or Linux servers, because it'll be a Fedora server, of course. And as I featured in, I think it was episode 10 of Retro Tech, my media server PCs I'm going to rebuild. So the summer rebuilds that I promised, like I think it was last summer or 2 summers ago, will be kicking off this summer, which is why I'm filming so many episodes of Retro Tech. But, this would be a fairly easy rebuild. Like I said, it needs a hard drive, some memory, DDR2 168 pin, DDR2 RAM, a DVD burner, and then we'll put the free edition. Of course, all Linux is free. We'll put Fedora on there and go from there. As I said, this was the HP Compaq 510A, I believe it was, small form factor PC. You usually see these type of PCs in hospitals and things of that nature. Let's pan back a little bit so you can get a wider view of how everything looks on the inside. There's the power supply back there, as you can see, the old style floppy drive, the heat sink for the processor, where the memory is going to go when I purchase it. Hopefully I can find some old memory on eBay, where the hard drive is going to go. As I said, it's probably going to be an SSD, just to give it a little more speed. I mean, the computer has, I believe it's a Celeron D processor, so it's only going to go by so fast. So the plan is the cap off its memory, to give it the SSD, just to give it as much speed as possible, as I try and work with Fedora and go more into the Linux side of security and things like that, and try to set up a Linux network and see if I can get different Linux distros to talk to each other. Because the media server box is probably going to have a version of FreeNAS on it, network attached storage. I know that's not necessary Linux. But you get what I'm saying. I already have let me pan around here. I already have another. Sorry, it's cracking. I already have another small form factor PC, so you can see I'm not doing a redo of another one. And yes, that's another PC behind it, and an old printer, which will be featured in future episodes of RetroTech. So just stay tuned for that. But back to the PC here. Like as I said, as you can see, once the memory stopped out and once the SSD's in there, we'll try and eke out as much out of this little cellular ID processor as possible. Definitely going to get Fedora on it because that's the only operating system I remember working right before. These little things try to be a small form factor. You can see it was made out of mostly metal. As you look at the case lid and everything, they're sturdy. Like I said, these are usually the ones you see in hospitals. You can see how old it is because it originally ran Windows XP. But that's neither here nor there, because hey, like I said, here at RetroTech or here at Home Business Solutions, this is where we give old tech new life. So you know how I roll already. More testing equipment for me, more servers for me, more things to build, more things to turn old things into, and we'll just see what happens. Thanks to everybody for watching this episode of RetroTech. I'm Reese. Be kind, stay safe. See you in the next one.